Hello friends, Mandar here, and I am back with another video. Today I am going to talk about some details about the proclamation that was made on June 22nd about the entry ban for H1, L1 and other visa types. I have been getting a lot of questions from my subscribers about certain scenarios or specific scenarios that they have, and I have been replying to their comments in the comments section. So what I thought was I'll make another video that will give specific information about who is impacted and who is not under different visa circumstances, and depending on whether they are in the United States or outside the United States, and also whether they have a valid visa or re-entry permit as of June 24th. So all of this is coming right up. So if you are here for the first time, welcome. My name is Mandar and I make immigration related videos for US and Canada. And if you like this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. With that said, let's get started. So there was an initial proclamation that was made on April 22nd by the administration that prevented new immigrant visas to be issued and entry into the United States for people who are outside of the United States. At that time, they also announced that they will be considering entry ban for non-immigrant visa holders as well. And sure enough, after 2 months, they made another proclamation about the entry ban for certain non-immigrant visa holders. So we are going to go through some specific categories of non-immigrant visas and determine whether they are eligible to enter the United States or not. So let's get started. So let's talk about H-1B visa. That is the first one that is mentioned on the list. If you are an H-1B holder within the United States and working for the employer who sponsored your H-1B, there is no impact for you. But if you are an H-1B holder but outside of the United States and do not have a valid H-1B stamp on your passport as of June 24th, then you are not eligible to return to the United States because the consulates are closed and you will not have an opportunity to stamp the H-1. Now let's look at some further details about H-1B. So there is a FY 2021 H-1B lottery that was held this year, and if you were selected in the lottery but if you are outside of the United States, file for the petition. You can make your full application within 90 days, but you will not get a visa to enter the United States. Secondly, if you were selected through the lottery but you are within the United States, then you can go ahead and submit the full package for H-1B stamping and you are not impacted. Now what about H-4 dependents of H-1B? Same thing. If you are within the United States on a valid H-4, you are not impacted. Also, if you are in the United States with a valid H-4 EAD, which is a EAD given to the H-4 holders, then you are not impacted. You can continue to work on H-4 EAD and continue to submit your applications for extensions, and nothing is impacted on that side. Now what about L1 visa? If you are within the United States and if you have a valid L1 visa, you are not impacted. But if you are outside the United States and if you don't have a valid stamp for L1 on your passport effective June 24th or later, then you will not be able to re-enter into the United States until the end of the year. Same is valid for the dependents of L1, which is L2. If you are within the United States, you will not be impacted. If you are outside without a valid stamp, then you are impacted. Again, if you are outside the United States with a valid stamp for H4 or L2, you can still come back to the United States. There is no entry ban if you have a valid visa. Also, similar thing applies to J1 and J1 dependents as well as H2B and its dependents. If you are in the United States with a valid visa, you are not impacted. But if you are outside of the United States and if you don't have a valid visa to re-enter, then you are impacted. That means you will not be able to enter the US until the end of the year. Now this proclamation does not apply to lawful permanent residents. So if you are a green card holder, you will be able to go in and out of the United States without any restrictions. It will also not apply to the spouse and children of US citizens. They will be able to enter the United States. This also does not apply to the specific temporary workers who are working in the supply chain for food industry. It also does not apply to the people who have that is deemed to be in the national interest by the Department of State. If you are a dependent of lawful permanent resident, but if you don't have a green card, then you are impacted. The exemption is only made to spouse and children of US citizens, but dependents of lawful permanent residents or green card holders who are not LPRs are still not permitted into the United States. This entry ban also does not apply to asylum seekers and refugee claimants from outside of the United States. Also, I should note that the visitor visa such as B1, B2 is also not included in this travel ban. So if you are visiting the United States on a visitor visa, you will be allowed entry. With all this said, the previous ban for immigrants, new immigrants outside of the United States still remains in effect. In fact, it has been extended to the end of the year as well. Now I should specify the date. This ban is currently until December 31st of 2020. That's not to say that they will not extend it beyond that, but as of now it's only until December 31st. I would also specifically like to call out one specific scenario. If you were selected in the H-1B lottery for this year, but you happen to be within the United States, you can go ahead and file your full application. You will not be impacted. Also, I should say, as long as you maintain the status until you get the H-1B approval, which is effective October 1st, and you will have to maintain your status until that date. But if you are outside the United States and if you have been selected in the H-1B lottery, you can still apply for your full application within 90 days, but you will not get a H-1B stamp and you will not be permitted into the country at least until end of the year. Now let's talk about student visa. So if you are admitted into a US university and if you are given a valid I-20 and if you are outside of the United States, you'll still be able to apply for an F1 visa at the consulate if it is open. As it stands today, none of the consulates are processing any consulates are processing any non-immigrant visa. So for that reason, you will not be able to come inside the country. In that case, what you can do is you can still work with your university to see if you can start the distant learning courses. And that way you will maintain your registration in the university, and as soon as the consulates open, you can apply for your F1 and get it stamped and come to the United States. So I hope this clarifies most of your pressing questions. If you have any other questions, please send me a note in the comments section below and I will try to answer to the best of my knowledge. I would like to remind everyone that I am not an immigration lawyer, so anything that I say on my channel or in this video is from my personal experience or from my reading through the public official domains. For your specific visa scenario, you should still hire an immigration attorney and go through them. So I hope you like this video. If you like, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel, and I will see you in the next one.